Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, and today I have for you a 1 vs 1 on Langres. And my pardons if the introduction is going to be a bit short, but this is going to be a rather long match, and to keep things sort of within time constraints, and more particularly below 1 hour, so it doesn't take several hours to upload, because again, YouTube is a bit curious it's late, so I'd rather keep things within safe parameters. So of course, introduction brief. This is Langres, sort of semi-open, semi-closed off map. Buildings clustered here and some cars going right through there, providing some cover and other bits. Of course, who shall be fighting is the interesting bit right here in the north. We are seeing a Nonsensei. I have absolutely no idea who this chap is, except he was not as low level as he actually seemed to be. That much I do know. He was sort of a smurf, so in reality, I have absolutely no idea who he is. And opposing him, and of course, as you might already hinted, it is me, the glorious ImperialDane of the 2nd Panzer Division, making ready to attack for the fatherland. And let us get right down to it. Pioneers standing about, looking pioneerish. Other pioneers on the way, barracks, Wehrmacht quarters up, and of course, question is, of course, what can they go? I mean, all depends on several things. Usually the Wehrmacht command will tend to be sort of a more reactive pattern, at least in the beginning. Sort of, well, what does the American command go for? Lots of riflemen with BARs, grenades, things like that. Does he go for support, or does he rush straight for armored cars? Those are all sort of things you as a Wehrmacht commander really have to pay attention to, because again, 1 M8 and you're really in trouble. Whereas of course if he goes with BARs or grenades and things aren't quite as you wanted, you can sort of more easily sort of, well, adapt with some reason, whereas an armored car is going to present a slightly larger armored machine gun problem. And engineers sitting off to either side, pioneers doing the same pattern as of yet, and here's me chatting with Garav, who wants to play with me, but I'm rather occupied at this stage because I'm playing a game, plus I have to, at this stage afterwards, cast a game. Had no idea how long this was going to take, and it rather ended up taking much longer than I had originally anticipated, in fact. But Volksgrenadiers is hitting the field. Lovely chaps heading outwards, armed with the K98 Kurz. Jolly good old World War I era rifle, basically just a bit upgraded, so it had a sort of strip, a clip, basically 5 rounds on a sort of strip, and then they would pull out afterwards after the rounds had been inserted. And yes, there you go, lasted an hour. Thing is, I don't cast games, let's just briefly pause, that last an hour, but generally the cast games before that tend to be somewhere below that, but then all of the other stuff, like for example intro, mid-game analysis, other pauses and such, make it above an hour, so keep that in mind. It's rather a bit of a problem, and again, YouTube is acting a bit odd, so sometimes they will upload a game that lasts an hour and it'll take to 3 hours, and then all of a sudden it takes 6 hours. So again, I want to be a bit careful, as I don't really feel like, you know, having to wait that long, because I get going wrong. But Volksgrenadiers advancing, and at this stage I'm rather realizing this is not going to go well. I need to retreat my Volksgrenadiers, and there we go, getting in the way while others are getting on the move. Rifleman instead popping inside the building. Slight advantage up there, since of course he'll have to get out. He'll sort of be, what on? Pioneers securing what they can right here, ignoring the munitions point for now to otherwise move on afterwards. Volksgrenadiers ready on the field. Engineers moving in after the Pioneers. Moving in some Volksgrenadiers, I believe, to deal with that, since I might as well get the drop there rather than trying to sort of engage right here, which might not quite be to my advantage right off the bat. Rather wait for some further heavier firepower instead, get the drop on those engineers and put a few solid rounds in between the eyes. Pioneers and engineers firing off. One pioneer goes down, one engineer also down. Pioneers getting the devil out of there, while the Volksgrenadiers heading westwards. Go west, no, not quite. While an MG-42 is on the way, the Americans seizing what they can right there from me, while I'm trying to stop the engineers from stealing all of my precious fuel, my gasoline. And there we go. Engineers getting gunned down, and I stop my Volksgrenadiers from moving. Why is that? Because again, units are more accurate when standing still than when they're moving about. So in that case, we actually got the engineer team cut down right away there. Small victory for me. That's 140 munition start for him. And of course, one unit that can't seize territory right off as well. MG-42 getting ready. Volksgrenadiers heading sort of right there. Riflemen heading westwards, trying to sort of prepare position right here. And I rather figure I might as well not bother to run in here. That might end up in very bad manners. And riflemen getting close from all sides. Barbed wire being here to sort of perhaps create a strong point, slightly strong point at least. And riflemen getting the full skirmishes not rather realizing what's going on. Some of the barbed wire has been blown to bits, but there we go. Riflemen win from the north. Other full skirmishes will have to win. MG42 not quite in a position to actually provide assistance right away. Riflemen closing on. Further riflemen arriving. 10 full skirmishes against what could be 18 riflemen. Not good, not good. MG42 sitting up behind a wooden cart. Rifleman getting inside the building. Rifleman goes down. And MG42 opens up on the rifleman out in the open, suppressing the buggers. And the riflemen advancing from all sides. Full skirmishes sort of clumping up. Pioneers and engineers sort of fighting right here. And a third full skirmishes team getting out. I rather prefer the 3 full skirmishes to one MG42. Sort of start perhaps a bike, perhaps something else. Perhaps a second MG42 if he goes for BARs. Again, that's all of sort of things you sort of wait afterwards to see what he actually goes for. All such questions. Of course, we'll have to see what does he go for. But in this case, this small engagement was won by me. His riflemen did suffer quite a bit. MG42 advancing to keep behind the full skirmishes or what? Yes, indeed. Other full skirmishes team having cleared out the east. Also pulling back. Riflemen getting reinforced. Some minor losses. Full skirmishes going in for the hunt on the riflemen. Who shall win this? MG42 advancing, moving in to prop up right behind the full skirmishes and give them some much needed heavy fire support. Going for the skirmish phase in this case. Full skirmishes getting reinforced. And he is going for the supply, which probably will mean the motor pool, and setting up right here in this barn. And of course, this barn can actually cover a nice bit of area right around here. That's not actually what a lot of players know, and they usually don't react on that, but I do. Maha. But looks like these full skirmishes are going to end up in a rather nasty position, getting hit from all sides. But further full skirmishes are rushing in to aid their comrades, their brethren in arms. Riflemen continuing to sort of be aggressive on all sides. MG42 finally getting a target, opening up on the rifleman right there, forcing the way. Full skirmishes also forced away. But the MG42 will keep this zone safe while the Americans are stealing away the precious fuel. And meanwhile, Krieg barracks going up. Full skirmishes opening up on the rifleman. Pioneers advancing in. Flamethrowers in hand. Ready to burn the Yankees out of their little burrows or bushes or whatever. Further riflemen flanking about these full skirmishes, while the Pioneers are trying to scorch these chaps. Riflemen right there getting suppressed. Further full skirmishes arriving to put down the pressure. And move closing in the trap on these riflemen. Leaving behind these chaps to watch as their brethren get shot down. And leave them slightly exposed as well, who are quick to actually get out of there. So a nice full skirmish force right there. The others reinforcing again. My goodness, they are quite needy chaps, aren't they? And there we go, the motor pool going up for Nonsensei, and I haven't been told what division he is. He is 28th Infantry Division. Let us stick with that. Riflemen closing in and flanking about with these full skirmishes again. If you have 2 units and he has 1, try to flank, get the best advantage so you don't have to hang about and suffer longer casualties. Again, it's all about getting the best positions on your opponent and thus being able to inflict the most damage while taking the least possible as well. Riflemen sneaking through here. Sneaky, sneaky. Full skirmishes sort of hanging about here, laying down some barbed wire and then getting engaged from the south. And what is going on? Our Pioneers trying to take a point here, but hitting a mine. Riflemen charging across. Negative cover, not good at all. Again, negative cover makes your troops easier to hit and take more damage. Trying to take this munitions point, although I should be careful about full skirmishes and meanwhile taking losses, but so are the riflemen again. Negative cover can really make a difference, so as most possible, try to avoid having to fight in it. And the fuel point right there once more in the hands of the Wehrmacht. Pack 38 is ready. And Grenadiers getting out to be the next troops to be marshalled in for the 2nd Panzer Division, while riflemen are getting ready to launch another assault. The motor pool flashing and smoking. While full skirmishes are hanging out some sticks and brambles, firing away at these riflemen. While the MG42 advances to provide some heavy cover for these chaps. In terms of firepower, not they can actually, provide heavy cover in terms of sandbags. Fuel point right there captured, but riflemen engineers moving in. The M8 has been prepared. No armored skirts of yes, but those will come soon. Mines being laid down. MG42 getting the riflemen who are charging ahead. Full skirmishes pulling back, hoping to lure in the M8, thinking, well, things are alright. We're retreating. We don't have a Pack 38 behind us, mate. And a unit is lost, probably those pioneers right there. Yes, indeed. Panzerfaust on the M8. Pack 38 getting ready. MG42 cleared out. Oh dear. Will the Pack 38 get off a good shot? No, it won't. The M8 gets away, unable to really get close enough to get off a good shot. Most tragic. Grenadiers are ready now as well. Perhaps a Panzerschreck, perhaps not. Riflemen trying to go for that strategic point, while others are going right here towards the east. And what shall be happening now? Grenadiers getting close, getting ready to lob a grenade, and the riflemen see it and avoid it. Always pays to pay a bit attention, and right there we have a slightly unfortunate incident where for some reason the Fultz Grenadiers can't retreat because the MG42 is actually somehow capturing them. A bit odd. In that case, I'm actually going to have to move the MG42 to get something better off. Further pioneers getting sent out. And riflemen once more running straight into the MG42, getting suppressed and forced to run away while the central victory point is falling within American hands. Grenadiers and Fultz Grenadiers perhaps lining up to a counter-attack to seize it back. While riflemen are hanging about, ready to resist the next German assault to actually try and retake it as well. And we are seeing a Kampfkraft center going up. And the assault phase also underway. M8 charging ahead once more. Pack 38 once more trying to line up and get off a good shot. There we go. First hit. Fultz Grenadiers taking losses. Engineers moving in. M8 almost out. Will it happen? Will it happen? Nope. It isn't quite knocked out. Engineers though hit a mine, saving the Pack 38 and gives the MG42 time to turn about and open up on the riflemen. Small victory there while riflemen are doing their worst right here in the east, in the center. Fultz Grenadiers and MG42 holding the line. Riflemen and engineers in fact taking quite some heavy losses before they are forced to retreat. Riflemen then moving in from the north. Will the MG42 be able to turn about to cover this approach? My goodness. Fultz Grenadiers getting reinforced. Grenadiers as well, and I do believe it's time to have a look at Nonsensei if we can get there. Yes indeed. M8 getting repaired, nothing unusual there. Supply yard not upgraded as of yet, but more riflemen on the way. In fact, looks like he might have lost a team actually. Did I miss that? Didn't know that. But Fultz Grenadiers and Grenadiers advancing. The Grenadiers have been equipped with the Panzerschreck, also known as the Raketenbüchsen 54, I believe. And it was also known as the Offenrohr by the Germans and the stovepipe by the Americans, basically because again it sort of looked like a stovepipe, and for those wondering what a stove is, it was a sort of old oven you actually used to cook on. And they usually, because they used fire, had a sort of pipe as well to sort of leave away all that nasty smoke. Thus, stovepipe. It's not really something we have here in our day and age. Grenadiers and Fultz Grenadiers holding the line. Further infantry could be needed to support them. Looks like a major American assault moving in. Lots of riflemen, engineers and all that other business. Pioneers and other Fultz Grenadiers could be moved in to support. Some with flamethrowers. And grenades are getting ready. Fultz Grenadiers and Grenadiers retreating back to a slightly more defensible position where all the other friends are. Fultz Grenadiers need to move in. Pioneers with flamethrowers acting as the rear guard, able to stop anyone getting too close. And Grenadiers and Fultz Grenadiers opening up. Engineers getting gunned and burned down in the middle of everything. Grenade lobbed at the riflemen.
Enemy unit down.
Oh dear, the Pioneers didn't make it. While they did save some of their other comrades, they themselves were lost. Fultz Grenadiers and Grenadiers holding, while the riflemen are pushing on for Uncle Sam, leaving behind a trail of their own dead and wounded. Grenadiers in a full retreat. Fultz Grenadiers now forced to do all the work. Grenades have been made ready, and there we go on the Fultz Grenadiers. And an entire Fultz Grenadier team is lost. The power of the pineapple grenade, quite effective, quite vicious, quite nasty. Should not be underestimated ever, ever. And looks like Sturmtruppen of the, I don't know, 17th SS are getting ready to provide some more serious, more stern support. And going for all strategic points, hoping to cut off right there. Very nasty, of course, not a bad idea though, if you can. And certainly something a lot of American players like to do. Sturmtruppen opening up on the riflemen. Firing away. Riflemen forced to retreat, but they do manage to end at this point neutral, and the MG42 is still down, now with Veteran 1, which gives it increased accuracy. Riflemen pushing onwards, not quite having luck in sort of flanking about. Stormtroopers with assault rifles, now equipped STG-44s. forcing the riflemen to rather reconsider their plans for standing about in the open, and Veterans 1 for the Stormtroopers as well, giving all German infantry, generally infantry Veterans 1, slight self-healing, and there we go, an infantry surge, lots of Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers marching forwards for the fatherland. No Sturmarmy as of yet though. It looks like the M8 is finally remembered, and remember that it is actually needed somewhere. Stormtroopers holding the line, opening up on the riflemen, assault rifles blazing, bunker getting set up. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers advancing, opening up on all of these engineers right out in the middle of everything. As of yet, no document, of course. Stormtroopers signal Blitzkrieg. Wonderful, wonderful Blitzkrieg. One of my favorite doctrines. It would only be even better if it actually had inspired assault as it did in Combat of Heroes Online. I actually rather like that ability, but there we go. Engineers and M8 advancing, rather lacking in anti-tank assets besides some Panzerfaust and Panzerschreck. Stormtroopers holding these riflemen at bay. Perhaps a bundle grenade could be lobbed at them. There we go. Looks like, yes, indeed. Right at the riflemen. And the riflemen take some losses while the Stormtroopers take none. But both are forced to retreat. And looks like we are seeing the entire line slightly collapsing, falling back towards another strong position. M8 advancing, riflemen moving forwards. And the weapon support surrender is up for Nonsensei. No snipers as yet. But it wouldn't be out of the question to imagine that. Pioneers ready nearby, and looks like we are seeing a full retreat right now from the center. Still no Sturmarmy. Not even a Stu 42. And riflemen doing their damnedest best to try and take back what they can. As of yet, though, 500 victory points. Well, I don't quite have that. And a medic got shot right in the face. Not quite a happy fate. Pack 38 could be needed right here in the center, and once more going for the strategic point, in fact cutting me off from most of my resources. Very nasty. Stormtroopers leading the charge. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers moving in to cut off the other riflemen, while these chaps are getting dealt with. And he has gone for Airborne. A strafing run moving in, suppressing and pinning some of the Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers, but the Stormtroopers and other Volksgrenadiers are in fact left remarkably untouched. Quite nice right there. Volksgrenadiers forced into retreat while the Stormtroopers holding the line. Volksgrenadiers moving in to try and take that point back. M8 moving forwards, but it needs to be uncloaked. Oh dear, I forgot to uncloak it. But what is this? Sturmhaubitze 42 moving in, opening up. And the M8 moving forwards. Will the pack be ready to fire in time? No, again, too late. Simply too late. My fault again. When you're having to move the M8, unless it's, of course, it's right in front of the enemy, uncloak it, it will move a lot faster. And there we go. American sniper is ready to shoot some krauts right through the face. And once more, German infantry getting reinforced to recuperate and re-energize for the fight against the armies. MG42 standing up, hoping to perhaps catch these engineers right out in the middle, but no. The engineers flank about while some Stormtroopers, very, very wounded, move in with their assault rifles. And the M8 moving in. Will the Pack 38 be able to open up? Yes, indeed. The Pack actually keeps the M8 slightly at bay. MG42, though, cleared up most tragically. Stu 42 advancing through here. Sniper sort of out in the open. Has to be careful. And there we go, running away, rather realizing he can't contend with what might be coming. Looks like an anti-tank gun is getting ready to keep that Stu 42 at bay. Not a bad choice at all. Stu 42 covering, and for some reason deciding it can fire through the Bocage. Of course, it can actually wreck it with enough shots. In the meanwhile, I decide, well, if he can cut off my strategic point, I jolly well can with him as well. Grenadiers hanging about nearby with a Panzerschreck, sort of deciding what to try with the Stu. But I just say salt that and let it keep firing away. It could be it actually fired through and began opening up on his base. Stormtroopers getting reinforced. Still no armored assets from here. No further veterancy for the infantry as of yet. Perhaps some from my arm. And there we go, a small gap. The motor pool immediately comes under fire, figuring, well, I might as well prevent him from getting any further bits. And there we go, American assault moving in, anti-tank gun gets off a shot on the Stu 42, and I rather realize this is my cue to get the devil out of there. Retreating the infantry, blasting away at the American infantry while I try to get my Stu 42 to safety, to a position where I can get a nice hot meal and some repairs, or at least a not so cold meal. And a mine is hit somewhere, I think. Stu 42 tries to make the escape. Pioneers covering, Volksgrenadiers as well. How shall this ever go? Pioneers retreating. Volksgrenadiers taking quite a bit of losses, and the Pioneers are slaughtered. And the Volksgrenadiers are not going to make it out of this, I fear. One rifleman goes down to the Stu 42. And the assault gun takes quite a bit of damage. And there we go, one hit, 3 riflemen down. Finally a good shot from the Stu 42, the Sturmhaubitze. Medics pulling in the wounded, some Pioneers by the looks of things. Riflemen getting out of there. Volksgrenadiers with MP40s, and looks like a mortar has been prepared as well to bombard the armies. And perhaps get that anti-tank gun, perhaps even the sniper with a bit of luck. German infantry once more reconstituted. Pioneers nowhere to be seen. I fear I've lost them all. Quite tragic. Which will keep the Stu 42 off the field for some time. And meanwhile, Stormtroopers are advancing to basically spot there. And it looks like he's already pulled away his anti-tank gun. Not quite one feeling it's safe, perhaps. And there we go, Stormtroopers advancing. Opening up on the rifleman, finding away with the assault rifles. Mine goes off thanks to the mortar round. That's always nice. And rather spotting some engineers there. I'm probably going to deal with those. And the Stormtroopers rather realizing they're also in the line of fire of the mortar, so they get quickly out of there. Always a good idea. And let us return to me to see what's going on here. Not an awful lot, actually. These Volksgrenadiers engineers are taking quite a beating. Grenadiers run straight into a mine. And will these engineers make it out of there alive? Nope. Another engineer team cut down right in that exact same spot. Riflemen looks like they will be making a counterattack. Mortar continuing to open up. Keeping these riflemen away from that strategic point. And 2 are in fact killed outright. Stu 42 moving forwards. Riflemen keeping the riflemen at Volksgrenadiers. And looks like an assault is going on. Will the riflemen pull out of there? Pack 38 opening up on the M8. Assault grenades miss, well, pretty much everything. And the M8 looks like we're getting out of there. The Pack 38 not able to really get a killing shot. The Stu 42 moves into the mix as well. Sturmhaubitze. Quite a few riflemen clustered up, but he can't seem to hit them. Oh dear, oh dear. And the Volksgrenadiers are now in the line of sight of the line of fire in the M8. And a grenade getting lobbed, but not hitting. And 2 riflemen down. Currently the situation is rather where I need to get something a bit more solid. Although the mortar is a good start, I need something that can, well, more reasonably kill Americans. Perhaps also deal with that M8 at the same time. Perhaps a Stu 4 if I can get up that Sturm Armory, if I decide to. The American fellow, on the other hand, needs to really able something to press the effort. Otherwise, I'm pretty much just going to be slowly building up forces and constantly trying to probe his defensive and blast away at him. While, of course, the mortar harries his every attempt at taking any line of territory because it can rather safely cover this area from within my base. Very nice, that. And there we go, Veteran 2 for the infantry, making them even stronger and allowing them to absorb a bit more damage. Stu 42 with Veteran 1 now, giving it some damage reduction. And a tree sent up now in the American base as well. And supply yard upgrade number 1, good show. And looks like I have a plan. Yes, indeed, smoke cover. Because even snipers have problems with smoke, so I might as well use that to basically cover this area. Send in some, well, not so valuable troops to take it just in case. And there we go, a nice point taking. Smoke is a rather nice thing, isn't it? Riflemen moving in to counterattack, and Stormtroopers hanging about ready to get the drop. And there we go, one Volk's gonna get sniped though. But the riflemen are having problems. The Stormtroopers are close, and a bundle grenade. Geballte Ladung, and there we go. Quite some losses for the riflemen. Volksgrenadiers will also take a bit, but still, they managed to take the point relatively alive. And looks like the Americans are rather sneakily getting ready for a large flanking assault. Of course, this entire area is open, unsupervised. And of course, most of my support units are sort of there, but at the same time, I'm keeping some Volksgrenadiers ready, just in case. And there we go, breakthrough. Riflemen charging, Pioneers moving in to stop that. Stu 42 opening up, Volksgrenadiers also ready. And there we go, moving in, having used the buildings, of course, there to get close. Stu 42 gets away. Volksgrenadiers launching an assault. Pioneers cut down. Again, I'm losing Pioneers at an incredible rate, not good. And assault grenades on the riflemen, finally stunning and killing and wounding something. Grenadiers are reformed. Getting my bunker right there some usage. And the Stu-42 keeps on reaping the American souls for the fatherland, while it looks like an engineer team has swung by in the south to seize that victory point, but immediately German forces are able to concentrate on that and put a stop to those city buggers, forcing those to run a gauntlet, which looks like they might actually survive it, and finally getting the Sturm Armory. Well, looks like the M8 is sort of sneaking about, anti-tank gun hanging about there, and still that one sniper, and no snipers from me. I've never really been comfortable with snipers, and that's certainly something I need to work with, even despite the fact that I despise them. Currently, I mean, that doesn't mean I shouldn't use them. Of course, I could just perhaps, you know, try to use them in a manner that sort of fits me. Anti-tank gun was lost, but is quickly recruited by some grenadiers. Mortar rounds covering the center. More mines from Nonsensei. Although not a heavy cover, it's still not a bad thing. Engineers forced away. Central victory point currently not in the hands of anyone. Looks like engineers are sneaking through right there. And going for the Nebelwerfer, going for some slightly dense artillery. And more importantly, far-reaching artillery. And looks like a assault going on with a counterattack by the Americans. M8 and lots of riflemen, grenades on the stormtroopers. Stormtroopers running away, grenadiers opening up with a Panzer, blowing away the haystack, the pioneers. Oh no, not the pioneers again. Dane, you absolute tosser. Why do you keep losing pioneers like that? Absolutely no good. Anti-tank gun opening up. Nebelwerfer is ready. Stu-42 opens up, forcing the riflemen out of that piece of cover. Nebelwerfer needs to get ready. Engineers sneaking through here, and the West once more going for the fuel. Although fuel is not rather what I'm lacking, there is still the matter of the population cap. So of course that's still a bit vital. And there we go, the howling of the Nebelwerfer. And the anti-tank gun rather realizes it might actually be in the line of fire, which is not a bad idea to assume, but it seems to manage avoiding most of it. In the meanwhile, Airborne from the 82nd Airborne Division have arrived to provide a bit of support, while riflemen are moving westwards to put a stop to these singular Volksgrenadiers trying to take back that fuel point. Very sneaky that. And now a heavy armored car on the move. And the Volksgrenadiers rather realize they are in that case outgunned, and finally going for the Sturm Armory, finally getting some slightly heavy armor, and the Stu-42 moving out with some grenadiers in support just in case. Always keep your assault guns supported by infantry. Riflemen advancing forwards. Stu-42 opening up, blowing a car to bits, but trouble was it wasn't an American car, so it doesn't really matter. And there we go, quite a bit of firepower being leveled at the riflemen, forcing them away. It looks like another attempt right there in the center. Assault grenades on the riflemen, forcing them away. Of course, grenades aren't affected by smoke. And in the meanwhile now, the Volksgrenadiers can retake the central point quite safely. Building here quite damaged. M8 advances on the Volksgrenadiers. And there we go, moving in, blocking them, forcing them away from the victory point. Rather sneaky and nasty tactic, but it's still there. And Airborne now have been equipped with the recoilless rifles, going for the armored car and now upgrading it to a Puma 50 caliber 50mm machine gun. And the Volksgrenadiers is getting hunted down. Will they be able to survive? Will the Puma be there to rescue them? And the M8 rather realizes it's a bit of a trouble, since the Puma can actually do a bit more damage. Stormtrooper engaging rifleman right there, who shall be the victor. M8 forced away by the Puma. Stormtroopers advancing on the rifleman. Bundle grenade flying out of their pocket. Rifleman advancing and pinning down the Stormtroopers with their suppressive fire, sneaking that, but more grenadiers are ready to put a stop to that. And some artillery going in on the center, because the Stu-42 has blown another hole in the hedge. Absolutely amazing. I do believe it's the time for the mid-game analysis, but let's keep it a fluid one. Well, the situation is currently, well, the American does have most of the territory, but its infantry is slightly bleeding out, but still holding most of it. My armor is slightly, well, my armor car slightly broken, infantry as well, and rather need something to really push through here. Of course, with the Nebelwerfer and the mortar, I might have a slight chance, but at the same time, though, he is rather at this stage retaining most of the initiative, which is not really quite to my advantage. Anti-tank gun moving through here, ready to open up on the Stu-42. Of course, at the same time, it is moving awfully close itself. And this Puma is in dire need of repairs, but again, I'm lacking in pioneers. Absolutely atrocious from my side, and there we go, finally getting some replacement pioneers again. Engineers going for this point. Anti-tank gun sending up there. Nebelwerfer firing away. Airborne hanging about in their base. Anti-tank and advancing, of course, that's not the target, as I'm rather suspecting he might be here. Of course, it isn't. And it hits absolutely nothing. Amazing. But making a small advance right here in the west, trying to retake that fuel point. Mortar setting up here, slightly different place, just in case some counter mortar fire might be going in. And a supply drop has been made for the Americans. Setting up that, giving him access to a mortar and a machine gun if he decides so. And an assault going in there. Sniper, of course, opening up, getting some of my troops. But they continue nonetheless. Grenadiers advancing, M8 firing away. Mortar advancing to try and provide some support. Grenade and Grenadiers taking heavy losses. So the riflemen, though, since they're rather out in the open this stage. Sniper so far with 7 kills and veteranship 1. Stormtroopers right here engaged in the west. Engaging these riflemen. Another bundle grenade. Will the riflemen this time? No, they didn't spot it. Oh, heavy losses. Only 1 man alive. Stu 42 dueling with the M8. And the anti-tank gun can actually help. Mortar rounds and Nebelwerfer rounds. All the rounds flying through the air. Grenadiers getting reinforced again. Rifleman advancing on the Stu. Will the Stu 42 get them? Nope. The rifleman dodge it due to the veterancy. Looks like a sticky bomb goes off on the Stu 42. And a round goes off on the rifleman, killing all but 1. Pioneers heading towards the center. And once more, rather exposing themselves. Dane, you bastard. But at least this time he does get them out of there. Yes, I get them out of there. Point here taken. Grenadiers reinforced, finally ready to move out. Stu 42 is in need of repairs. Grenadiers also advancing. Anti-tank gun constantly shifting about. M8 sort of trying to perhaps lure out the Stu 42. Only take a few shots from it, because the Stu 42 is going nowhere until it's repaired. And the Puma has also been repaired at this stage. Stormtroopers advancing, hoping to knock out the anti-tank gun, or at least force it away to give my other forces a bit of a reprieve. And there we go, taking up cover. Volkswagen is also moving in. Quite a bit of automatic fire. Anti-tank gun forced away, and the Puma moves in, figuring a chance there for victory. Opening up on the M8, but it absolutely misses. And it hits a mine while the anti-tank gun also fires, knocking it out quite quickly. Quite tragic, quite not what I had expected. But those things happen. Grenadiers, though, and other troops securing the central victory points. Of course, even this sort of maneuver, which did cost me a Puma, did gain me the advantage of this area. And Sniper opening up on those poor medics. What a bastard. At the same time, Nonsensei figuring now's the time to bring in the big guns. He's going for the tank depot. Could perhaps have done with that a bit earlier, but let's not hang about in that. Nebelwerfer once more firing. Sort of basically just in case he moves in to basically stop any assaults. Mortar team getting scorched. A bit unfortunately. Tank depot still going up. Rifleman hanging about in the base. Supply yard fully upgraded, giving him quite some advantages right there. And what am I doing so far? Not much, although repairing that Stu 42 once more. And it's in fact veterancy 2, giving it that machine gun right there, which will certainly be of help against the Amerikaneren. And once more sneaking some in to do a bit of harassment right here in the west. And setting up some cover here. And sadly, it looks like I've actually managed to trap my Grenadiers right here between the sandbags and the barbed wire. Not really helping them at all, because they can't even retreat. Those are the sort of things you have to be careful with. Riflemen advancing, coming under fire, but still a nice defensive position, except I've trapped some of my own troops. Lots of grenades being exchanged, the riflemen taking heavy losses. But others are sneaking in, forcing the Grenadiers away. Mortar's flank is a bit exposed. Some Grenadiers forcing away. False Grenadiers holding the line behind the heavy cover. Stu 42 blasting away. And a Tiger has arrived. Schwere Panzerabteilung 503 providing a Tiger to aid. Tank depot is up, but so far no armor. And quite a bit of fuel for our American friend. Also quite a bit of munitions. Riflemen taking heavy losses. Stu 42 so far with 29 kills. Absolutely incredible. And Stormtroopers, False Grenadiers, all the other lads are getting once more ready to fight. And the Tiger moves forward, although a bit without support. Spots this anti-tank gun and immediately opens up. It ought to, at least. There we go. One cleared out. Sniper fires away. Getting some false grenadiers. Nebelwerfer also fires. M8 advances. Getting hit by the Tiger. Stu 42 will probably be joining into that. And there we go. Gunner killed and a hit. And it is out of control. And that anti-tank gun will probably soon join. M10 on the way. No Hellcats for this fellow. And so far it looks like the Tiger has a bit of problem hitting that anti-tank gun, but it's not stopped. Instead, the mortar apparently does the job. Routes of infantry advancing. The Tiger needs to get out of there. Have to be careful because, again, no infantry support, but there we go. Stu 42 full scan is moving in. Lots of sticky bombs on the Tiger. Oh, bother. Stu 42 advances. M10 opens up. Full scan is also advancing home to get that cheeky sniper, but no, instead he gets the anti-tank gun. Airborne opening up on the Tiger. Tiger focuses on the M10 while this 242 deals with Airborne, getting off a good hit, but it absolutely misses, does nothing. And the Grenadiers get squished beneath the treads. They run beneath it, having seen some candy perhaps, I'm not sure, but it certainly wasn't quite to my advantage. And a Tiger and a Grenadier team is lost in that same instance. Absolutely horrific. And I hadn't actually noticed that those Grenadiers ran right onto the M10's tracks. Certainly didn't leave me happy. And the Stu 42 is quite wrecked. But full Grenadiers and Grenadiers providing cover, and the Stu 42 doesn't make it. Grenadiers moving in, perhaps hoping to get off a Panzer Rex shot, but no, the veterancy free M10, quite a bit more damage, penetration, all that other nasty business is ready. And the Nebelwerfer once more provides some nice covering fire for the infantry, making it a bit easier to defend since the assault will be rather broken up. There we go, suppressed and taking quite a bit of damage. Of course, the Nebelwerfer can, of course, be used defensively, so can any artillery, if you so decide to use it. Sniper, though, continuing to rack up kills, and of course, I'm continuing to still not get him killed. Damn it. Verdammt. And of course, a bit of a problem on my side. And now figuring, well, I might as well go for this little trick. Of course, I send in the stormtroopers with a rather specific mission. Get that sniper and fill them with holes, and then for some reason they got uncovered. I have absolutely no idea how that happens. Sometimes it just happens, and of course, they can't really get the sniper that way. But apparently they continue. No, they don't. But that rather quickly went pear-shaped and not quite what I had hoped to see. Pioneers salvaging the Tiger for spare parts and all that. That can be redeemed for munitions at the Wehrmacht supply depot. Nothing from there. And from my American friend, another M10. Rather lacking in those tank destroyers. And of course, this veterancy 3-1 is going to be quite the prize. Able to do, will pretty much penetrate a lot of things, and of course do even more damage, making it quite lethal, and of course making it a rather nice target for me to get. Nebelwerfer once more firing, basically just figuring I might as well fire sometimes just to sort of break up any assaults. Sort of have a light success with that. Heading the anti-tank on right away. M10's advances. Panzer 6 opens up. MP40 is firing away. Volksgrenadier is taking losses. So the Pioneers, mortar rounds flying. The M10s continue. And another Tiger arrives, a second one, ready to turn things around once more for the fatherland and provide the 2nd Panzer Division with some armored backbone. The 2nd Panzer Division, at least this force, having access to no panzers, but only so far Stu 42. Perhaps a Sturmgeschütz would be nice, would certainly be helpful. Volksgrenadier is advancing on the riflemen, but getting gunned down and a grenade lobbed at them. Not quite functional there. Stormtroopers heading eastwards. Could be they are flanking him out, hoping to catch that sniper. And M10's once more getting repaired. Rather realizing now there's a big cat on the prowl, hoping to get some breakfast. And by that I mean M10's. Sniper continues to fire away. 25 kills, veterancy free. Can't wait to get that bugger. But still, I probably ought to have gotten a sniper by now and put a bullet in between his eyes. But of course, again, I'm not very fond of snipers because they're a bit too much micromanaging, but again, sometimes the key is just to find your own method for making them work. And I can't apparently be asked for that. For some reason I can with a lot of other things. Inspired assault, all that. Snipers, not. So I need to work on that. Tiger opens up, gets a few riflemen. Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers counter-attacking immediately. Nebelwerfer breaking up the assault at least slightly. Riflemen moving from the west. Grenadiers lobbing a grenade. And looks like the rifleman took the worst of it. Some Volkswagen is getting torn to bits. The Tiger opens up on the Airborne who are advancing. Killing 2 outright. Pioneers burning them as well. Exchange here, and looks like the riflemen are getting in. Sticky bombing the Tiger. Oh, bother, but looks like these Airborne might not actually make it out of there. That would make me very happy, and... no, they actually look like they will be. M10's now charging in. But no, the Airborne are killed. Rifleman taking a bit of damage, and the M10 moves in. The veteran CV 3-1 moves in first. No idea why. It would have been perhaps made more sense to move in the slightly weaker one. The one which didn't have all the expensive veterancy. Volkswagen opening up on the rifleman, forcing away the infantry. Pack 38 needs to turn about, support the Tiger. And the veterancy 1-3, sneak about the Tiger. Oh dear, it simply runs around circles. Not quite happy about that. Panzerfaust getting ready. Damaged engine, making things a bit easier. And of course, by this time I finally get that Pack 38, but the Tiger goes out of control. No, the Pack avenges the Tiger, the glorious Tiger, but it's too late. Neverwhere for once more firing. Oh, bother. Our American friend, though, has managed quite a kill again, but I'm not entirely sure it was worth that. Veterancy 3 M10. Stormtrooper still sneaking about. Sniper still alive. Rats. But he is starting to bleed a bit more solidly now, even with the supply yard upgrades. Although I'm certainly also bleeding. But with that medic bunker, I can afford it a bit more than he can, since he has no medic stations. Although he is getting quite a lot of munitions, he isn't really using it. No strafing runs or bombing runs, even though he has the command points for it, which is a bit odd. He could have used it quite a bit there, but apparently seems to be not using it. A bit off right there, I'd say. But let's return to me, getting for the manpower blitz. Not the ballroom blitz, but the manpower blitz. Grenadiers and Volkswagen counter-attacking, once more ready to steadily advance and take back what belongs to the Reich. While I'm picking up munitions to get for a manpower blitz, I'm going to quickly call in another Tiger. Having rather figured that Tigers is rather nice. And now a Sherman has arrived on the field. Small assault going on here. False Grenadiers and Grenadiers advancing on the rifleman. Oh, bother. A grenade puts a stop to that partly. Nebelwerfer achieves very little in this case. Grenadiers advancing, hoping to take up the sandbag positions, but no such luck. All the munitions... no, the M10 can still be scavenged. Quickly scavenge. Pull together all you can. At this stage, I might want to consider getting a Stuk 4 just to deal with this. But no, I wait patiently for the Tiger to save everything. Or, well, a third one, which I suppose would make for a very small Tiger section. Grenadiers are instantly reformed in this case, though, which rather gives me a small time to salvage things and get the mortar away. But then a mortar round hits. Does he ever have... yes, he has his own mortars immediately opening up on my bunker and my Grenadiers. My goodness, finally getting a mortar himself. He probably could have used it a lot earlier. And a strafing round pinning down and suppressing. Absolutely horrendous, but now I can't. Manpower blitz. Manpower blitz, Dane, I said. Come on, we are the same person. Blitz. Volkswagen taking quite a few shots. Sherman advancing on the Pioneers, and there we go. Manpower blitz, Tiger, and Stu 42 calling upon some armored assets. Quickly as possible. No mucking about here. Need to get that Sherman, need to get those riflemen and put a stop to them. Riflemen quickly suppressed and forced to retreat. Tiger crashes through all the base defense, or at least these sort of wall defenses, to get those... that damn Sherman opens up. Hits. Stu 42 retreating. Lots of infantry reinforcing here. And of course, if he went for a recon run and then a strafing run, which I have been experienced to right there, that could actually do quite a bit of nasty damage right to my base. But fortunately not. Tiger advances. The Sherman is no more. The Yankee is kaput, as the Tiger would say. Anti-tank gun providing a bit of cover, but in the face of a Tiger and the Stu 42, and of course all this nice German infantry, that Tiger's not going to do much. Target knocked out. And the sniper rather exposes himself, but he makes it out of there once more. Curse you, sniper. Curse you. One day I'll get you. Stu 42 advancing airborne, charging in, but rather coming under heavy fire. M10 flanking the Stu 42. Pioneers immediately setting about repairing that Tiger. Want to keep it continually repaired. I don't think I can get a fourth Tiger at this rate. But opening up, hoping to get that M10. And a bombing run moving in. Oh dear, oh dear. And fortunately, only the Stu 42 takes the worst of it. The Tiger, not as bad, but still down to half health. A bit of Volksgrenadiers nearby to provide some support. The base, not really looking much of a base. Most of the bocage, which did offer protection, is gone. Anti-tank on recruit, just in case I lose the Tiger. Again, I want to have my own anti-tank assets. And an assault being thrown in at the flank, stunning and stopping most of the assault. Anti-tank gun cleared out, though it was not rendered mine. Stu 42 fires away. Sticky bomb on the Tiger. Volksgrenadiers firing away with the MP40 from the flank. Tiger immobilized. The M10 moves in. Oh no, will I lose another Tiger? That would be very, very sad. Or will the Pak 38 be able to save things this time around? Pioneers moving in, hoping to repair to keep that Tiger still alive, still humming. Purring, I suppose. And there we go, a Panzerfaust, I believe. Yes, indeed, a heroic Panzerfaust knocks out that M10, saving my third Tiger. And another Nebelwerfer barrage firing from the very few bushes left in my base. The rest have been cleared out, but these still cover the Nebelwerfer. And looks like this 242 might not make it. Airborne moving in with the recoilless rifles. Pioneers desperately trying to repair it. Airborne taking some losses, and snipers moving in to kill those Pioneers. What a bastard. And Stu 42 perhaps hopes to catch him, but the sniper is a bit quicker than that. Having learned in sniper school not to stand too close to armored vehicles. And looks like the tide has finally turned for the 2nd Panzer Division, finally having secured this area, and of course, thankfully I'd say, the effort of the Tiger, and of course the manpower blitz was perhaps rather what saved me, although in the end that other bits like that, Pak 38, and keeping it sort of at a nice distance, ready to cover any approach, is of course always a nice thing. Although it didn't actually manage much in actually killing things, but it's just sort of more there to sort of keep the American away. And sort of keep my lines from totally collapsing. A bit more sandbags right there, providing a bit of cover. Assault grenades on the riflemen. Doing quite a bit of damage though, although a grenade forces the grenadiers away. And that sniper once more gets a kill with the stormtroopers move in. 26 kills actually, quite impressive. 23 kills for these Volksgrenadiers, 20 for these without submachine guns. And now the hunt has gone in, the stormtroopers advance. Hoping to catch it, of course. Again, you can sort of follow the path with clicking this sort of unit snipe button right there. And there we go. Sniper caught and gunned down. Revenge for all those killed. And a small duel right there, and the stormtroopers will quickly get out of there, having accomplished their mission for the time being. Mortar recruit, perhaps, for the fatherland. Airborne dropping in. Mortar recruit. Volksgrenadiers need to get out of there, and so does this mortar. Will it happen? Yes, indeed. All of these Volksgrenadiers trying to cover it. Pay the price for it, and several of the comrades are killed. Tiger getting repaired and is almost ready. Riflemen advancing. Grenades in hand. Looks like the Volksgrenadiers did not make it. Grenade, and oh dear, heavy losses. Mortar firing away continues. 17 kills as of yet. Very nice for the Nebelwerfer. 15. Tiger and Stu 42 keeping things clear. Pioneers shooing away the Americans with their flamethrower. And yes, using the wrecked M10 for cover, but the Tiger is a bit too powerful for that. And looks like there's not much for the Americans to throw at me at this stage, having rather broken themselves against the Panzer wall. Perhaps paying a too high price for trying to knock out those Tigers, I fear. And perhaps being a bit too lax with those bombing and strafing runs and mines. And mines. And another grenadier team is recovered. So far that makes 4. And a few Volksgrenadiers left from the beginning. And the Sturm Squad, ready for orders. Fully equipped with assault rifles now. Able to provide quite a wall of fire against those Yankees, these armies. And apparently the Stu-42 remembers some fun little dancing puppets in Leipzig, and Veteran C3 is on the way from the armor, for the armor, giving the Stu-42 and Stuks and all that some armored side skirts, and again, Simmeritz, which for those who aren't aware is a sort of anti-magnetic mine paste the Germans applied. They sort of discontinued when they rather realized, well, they were the ones using the magnetic mines, the Allies didn't really use them. And looks like Nonsensei is being rather quiet, making ready for an assault through the western flank, perhaps also getting ready for the east. Grenadiers and this mortar being slightly exposed. The one stolen from the Americans, I believe. And quick to retreat. Will it make it out there? I don't know. Pioneers with flamethrower ready, and I don't actually have a lot of population. Airborne firing away. Veteran C3 for the Tiger, and there we go, Stu-42 with armored skirts. Markman trying to hide in the building right in front of a flamethrower. Not good. Anti-tank guns getting ready, dropping from above, hoping to get the Tiger. The Pioneers shot into the building, ready to scorch anyone below. Grenades getting locked at the Grenadiers. Well, the Grenadiers, yes, only one survived though. And the anti-tank guns pull back, but are immediately under the barrage of the Nebelwerfer. One thing to note about the Nebelwerfer, as against veterancy, it actually has decreased cooldown on its barrages. That's always something nice to know. And there's me asking what's his actual level. 5, which I don't really buy, but you know, some people apparently can't really stand to sort of reveal themselves and the whole loss. The way I play now, yes, indeed, he just sort of... And there's not much really for me to say besides I see. So there you go. And something more being called in from the air. More supply drops, advancing through here, ready to take anything. Let us in fact speed things up. And there we go, could be his final assault. Nebelwerfer once more firing, Tiger advancing. A bit of blitzkrieg could be nice. But no idea if that will happen. There we go, in fact, blitzkrieg increasing the rate of fire of all units, the movement rate of most of them, and also some other bits for the Tiger. So there we go, just firing away, launching shot after shot at the Americans, and just charging ahead. Stormtroopers moving at full speed, rushing like... well, something that rushes really fast. Anti-tank gun cleared out. So is the mortar team facing off the stormtroopers. And Veteran C3 for the support units. And moving in for the American base. Heavy machine gun recruit. No idea why though actually didn't go for that earlier. That could actually probably have helped him. Yeah, same to you. Well played, all that. Very nice, very polite though. And there we go, Nonsensei pulling out a victory for the 2nd Panzer Division, although I probably lost a few too many Tigers. Actually, that sign would actually indicate the 101st SS Schwere Panzerabteilung, but shh, don't tell anyone that. Anyhow, so there you go. I hope you have enjoyed this fight, and of course, well, what can we learn from this? Well, from my side, get some snipers, learn to figure them out somehow, otherwise... good job in holding the line, I might say, although that might just be a bit me. Nebelwerfer did a quite nice job, so did the Stu-42, although with veterancy it did a slightly better one. I probably could do better with a Pak 38. It was not the best handling. I'll definitely agree with you on that. Otherwise, good start with the 3 Volkskrone is always a nice thing to have some solid infantry. Mortars also did nice from Nonsensei. I mean, we had a good, nice aggression from the beginning, but it was a bit lax with the mines and a bit. I don't really feel the doctrine sort of suited him. Perhaps armor would have been better. We really allowed him to sort of take on the Panzers and really supported his later sort of strategies. But sadly, he went for Airborne, which might actually cost him because he wasn't really sort of suited for the heavy classes. Airborne is sort of more for more mobile, swift, diffuse sort of fight, whereas, you know, the sort of fighting he went for was sort of large classes, and for that you rather need something a bit more heavier, something like infantry or armor. So there you go, hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is ImperialDane saying cheers.